You're listening to the Black Eagles podcast.
Ahmet Dursun Sergen aldı. Sergen Bülent yan yana. Sergen Bülent. Sergen. Yanında Tümer var. Tümer'e doğru attı. Tümer gitti. Tümer topu aldı. Sergen aldı. Gol! Gol! Gol! Sergen attı. Sergen attı. Şampiyonluk geldi. Sergen attı. Şampiyonluk geldi.
İbrahim pası. Cuma. Şimdi Ahmet. İkinci gole gidiyor Beşiktaş. Ahmet.
Welcome back, everybody. Episode 122 of Beşiktaş International's The Black Eagles podcast. I am your host, Sinan, live from New York City. And with me again is none other than the Akman himself. How you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, man. It's a good. We haven't been on in a little while. I guess that's not even true. We literally just were here less than a week ago talking about all the good news. But quite a bit has happened as we sort of expected. And among that, we have a really special episode for various other reasons as well. But so before we jump in, Evran, how you doing, man? Like, what's happening?
I mean, nothing much, Got my last semester of school coming up, and then still playing soccer, watching Beşiktaş. Well, not anymore, I guess, because we have a small break.
Yeah, like a month, actually. It's not even much.
Yeah, I think it's about 20 days until Champions League, so.
Yeah, and I think training reopens in
August 10th.
2 weeks.
Like 9 days or 10 days from now.
Yeah, exactly. So,
well,
not even, like 8 or 9 days. But so it's gonna be a lot of action. Usually we have this long off season where we have to think up all these episodes, what we're gonna talk about. I don't think that's gonna be the case this year. It's gonna be.
We did most of the off season during Corona, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And we
August
actually
25th or the 26th we'll play a one-off qualifying round versus an unknown team.
Well, there's some big news that we might as well lead in with, which is that the CAS, the Côte d'Habitation de Sport, has decided officially that Trabzonspor is donezo and Beşiktaş is in the Champions League. The champions. My cat's singing too. Did you hear that? Thanks, pal.
Yeah, I've been waking up to that as my alarm clock since like a month before the Bayern game.
What?
So it's been, that was I was getting hyped, and then that didn't go well. So it's been a long time. I've been listening to that every morning.
Nice.
But it's not the Champions League, so I'm ready for that.
Yeah.
That realization.
Now it has so much more meaning for you in the mornings. That's good. I'm happy for you. No, it really is. It's a thrilling time, because it's such a compact off season. The window is going to be fairly compact. The good thing is that we've already covered much of the hype and speculation over various guys that may or may not be coming into the squad in the off season, if we can call it that, the 2 weeks. But so, a lot of you guys, our listeners, have basically been prepped as far as most of the concrete rumors. And already the news is coming in fast and furious. And so we have a lot of it to talk about. But so first, as our listeners will be very well aware, we have an awesome little fundraiser going. We have a friend of the podcast, friend of Beşiktaş International in Accra, Ghana. And we've been raising money for his football academy, which he has named the Beşiktaş JK Berlin Academy of Accra. And he's named it after Beşiktaş's favorite club as well. And he explains the name. We talked about it in this interview. But so finally, after all the talk of it, we got Mohammed Aminu in for the interview. Talk to him about all of his plans for the academy, why, how he fell for Beşiktaş and all of that stuff. But so we're gonna talk to him, and so he's gonna be here on the podcast as well. we've got Kartal Oğur, who many of you will remember, our friend from Glasgow with a thick accent. He's going to stop in briefly to announce the winner. Some of you will have already heard this or seen this clip. It's available on our brand new Instagram account, on our IGTV.
Drop a follow.
Yeah, that's right. Hook it up. And then, of course, we're going to announce the next raffle, which is really exciting as well. For our listeners, remember, $5 bids. And you can do the currency calculations yourself. But a $5 bid will get you a raffle ticket for a match-worn kit. And already we've got a winner for the Elneny one, which I said we're going to announce with Kartal. And we'll have a brief chat with him about his feelings about the season and everything. But then finally, Evran and I are going to announce the next raffle. After, of course, you hear from Mohammed and understand what it is you're going to be giving money to and how much it's going to help so many kids in Ghana and maybe even Beşiktaş someday if some of these kids become good footballers. Stay tuned for that. But before I hand the mic over, I guess really to myself, because I'm the one who interviewed Mohammed, Evran, let's get a final thought on... I asked Kartal this, and so I don't think we're going to come back around to it later. But so for you, what I said to Kartal in the video that I would ask you, who is what position is the biggest need for you going into the summer? And try to be as succinct as you can.
Striker.
Bam! All right, so you're in agreement.
Yeah.
We're gonna qualify.
No, I'm not sure. You want me to elaborate on that?
Yeah. Explain.
Well, I think with Burak gone, right now it's like the positions up in the air. Laren and Güven and Umut are, I guess, our 3 first-team strikers, and then we have Oğuzhan Akgün. But for me, I think we'll talk about it later, but we've already kind of brought in recruits, and we haven't had any departures in those positions that I expected departures. So right now, striker is the number one need, especially Champions League. I don't think Güven is a Champions League striker.
No way.
Kyle Laren, maybe. We'll see. And I think we got an interesting rumor to talk about.
Yes, indeed.
But I think we need some movement in there.
Yeah, for sure.
We need a real killer up there. That's what I'm saying.
Well, so anyway, you actually end up. I don't want to give any spoilers away, but there's not going to be a huge debate, I don't think, as far as what the most important position is going forward. Without further ado, I'm going to queue up the interview with Mohammed Aminu of Beşiktaş JK Berlin Academy of Accra. Buckle, fasten your seatbelts. Thrilling interview. But no, it was a lot of fun talking to Mohammed, and I think you guys will enjoy it. So hello, Mohammed.
Yeah, hello.
Mohammed Aminu. So today we have a very special guest for the podcast. With me is the man that our listeners will know by now. We've talked about Mohammed many times on our podcast.
Yeah.
And if you're on Beşiktaş Twitter, you've probably seen his account. It's making the rounds these days. It's a pleasure to welcome to the podcast Mohammed Aminu. How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you, my brother.
So what's new? How are you these days? Are you excited about Beşiktaş? Have you been following the season?
Yeah. I followed the season till the last game.
Yeah. So what do you think? How do you feel about our third place finish?
I feel so excited. Last night we had a very nice chilling tonight because it was later in the night when the game was played here in Ghana.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, but we've already scheduled for a celebration, God willing, next week after the Islamic festival.
That's great.
We will surely celebrate our qualification to the Champions League.
Yeah, well, let's hope. Yeah, we'll see. We have to get news from the CAS about Trabzonspor, but it looks like we'll go to the Champions League.
All right.
But it should be great. I hope you guys have a lovely celebration.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about your academy.
Okay.
Everybody will have heard about it by now from our podcast, and of course, a lot of people on Twitter too. You know, it's you guys have been sort of viral, you could say, on Beşiktaş Twitter.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you some questions today, so that our listeners can get to know you better, and hopefully maybe donate some funds to your academy, get some of those kids some kits and whatnot. So first of all, I guess tell us a little bit about yourself, Mohammed. Where do you live? Did you create this academy?
Yeah, I created this academy.
Nice. And so tell us more about yourself. Tell us about Accra.
Yeah.
You know, did you grow up in Accra?
First of all, I live in Accra, central of Accra, the capital city of Ghana. But I'm a native of Savulugu from the northern region of Ghana, northern part of Ghana. Yeah.
Nice. I'm curious. Do you have a favorite football player from Ghana, like in history? Or who is that?
Yeah. We have a player like Mohammed Aminu, and we have Abedi Pele.
Okay, nice.
We have Razak. We have a lot of them. My full name is Mohammed Aminu, lenient Dauda, but I'm popularly known as Pele.
Pele.
Myself. I was named after the player Abedi Pele, former captain of the Black Stars, because of my attacking ability.
Nice.
Yeah.
So do you play as a striker?
I play as a striker,
Nice.
supporting striker.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Supporting striker, so more like a Guven Yalchin type.
Correct.
Rather than Burak Yilmaz. So anyway, I'll keep asking you questions. Tell us about how you discovered Beşiktaş, or if you fell in love with the club. You've named your academy, so I guess you must love the club a bit.
Yeah. That's a long story, but let me summarize it by starting from the whole thing started in 1999 when Daniel Amokachi.
Of course.
That was where it started. That was when he was playing with Beşiktaş.
Yeah.
Daniel Amokachi has been a mentor. Although I have the likes of Abedi Pele during their time, but I also like Daniel Amokachi because of the way he plays. The type of play is where the same game I always want to learn as I'm growing up. So I became interested in all his games. But sometimes it's hardly for us to get to watch the matches live because those times more technology wasn't discovered.
Yeah, for me it was impossible actually. I could never watch Beşiktaş.
Yeah, correct. So it got to a time where whenever there is a sport, there is something we call some sports program that we call sports highlights. So sometimes when they are coming out with this highlights is when we see such a performances from our players playing in abroad. So when I saw Daniel Amokachi, because I've been following his games, his football program, because he has been a mentor, and I always want to play the way he plays.
Nice.
So when I realized he was playing for Beşiktaş, I said, "Wow, Beşiktaş!"
That's great.
By then, I also established my team as a third division club. It's a Division 3 club. And you get me. So I was following, and then I was in love with the team Beşiktaş because Daniel Amokachi was there.
That's great.
Although I wasn't too much in love with Beşiktaş JK till another role model of mine, in the person of Hernandez Guti.
The classic. Yes, that was a very interesting trade. Yeah.
Correct. Until the day I heard Hernandez Guti joined the club, Beşiktaş from Real Madrid, and I said, wow. Then I think if all my mentors and role model are all moving to this team, why don't I follow the team fully?
Nice, I like it. That's a great story.
You understand me? So that was how it started. But it got to a time when Guti joined the club from Real Madrid, where my personal life, my best bet I like in my life is eagle already, because in Ghana emblem there is eagle.
Aha, of
Understand
course,
what I'm saying?
It's a good connection, I think, right?
Yeah.
I think. Well, and also I know Ghana are called the Black Stars, right? So it's like the
Correct.
Black Stars.
Correct. It's the
you
Black
love
Stars.
Eagles, the Black Eagles,
Correct.
right? It's like a perfect connection. I like it.
That's correct. That's correct.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
cool. I
So
like it.
this academy was established on 3rd November 2009 with the name Lenient International Football Club.
Uh-huh.
All efforts to attract sponsorship failed when the team was Lenient International Football Club, because I tried to contact a lot of philanthropists and all business personnel within our country for support, but they all don't believe in long-term investment, because football happens to be a long-term investment.
Sure, of course, yeah.
So until I had a good Turkish friend based in Berlin, Germany, by name Mr. Ondel Metken, who lives in Germany with my elder brother.
That explains why it's the Beşiktaş JK Berlin Academy. So I was wondering.
Correct.
I see.
Correct.
Very nice. All right. So the story is coming together.
Correct. So when they visited here, he is an agent. He's a football agent.
Uh-huh.
And then my brother told him that he has a brother who has a club in Ghana. If you want good and youthful talented players, why don't they go to Ghana so that they can go and monitor some of the players? So when he came over there to scout the youth talented, in the hotel one day he asked me, "Hi Mohammed." I said, "Yes, Mr. Ondel. What is it?" He said, "We have some discussion." So when he approached me and I said, "Okay, then I will get in touch with him when I come back from training." Frankly, I went and then approached him about our discussion that he said he want to have with me.
Yeah.
Then he then asked me, "Which club do you love in Europe apart from your club?" Initially, he asked me, "Which club do you love?" And I said, "My club, of course." He said, "No, your club is in Ghana. I know your club belongs to you. Fine. Which club do you want your players to play in Europe one day?"
Ah.
I told him straight away that my best club in Europe is in Turkey.
Nice. You're saying the right
I
things.
said Turkey. Yeah, but I didn't mention the club. I said Turkey because I was really afraid that maybe I don't know whether because I knew he has a Turkish background.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know the club he supports in Turkey, so I don't want to. Maybe he has an opportunity for me.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you don't. If you say Beşiktaş and he's like a
so I just mentioned my best European club is in Turkey. I said Turkey, and then he said, "Wow, Turkey! I should mention the club." And I said, "No. Why do you want to know the club?" So all of a sudden, I boldly told him my best club is Beşiktaş. Beşiktaş, and he said yes. And I said, "Why Beşiktaş?" And I said, "Beşiktaş because one, I love the colors, black and white natural colors, and then the same as I'm explaining to you.
Yeah, Amokachi.
My best bet also happened to be an eagle, and because of Daniel Amokachi and Nnamdi Goodin, I said, wow, fantastic players."
Nice.
So that was where he said, "Oh, myself, I'm a Turkish Beşiktaş fan. Even my father also contributes to is a donor to Beşiktaş. So if you say your best team is Beşiktaş, why don't you use Beşiktaş to your club?"
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Wow, that is another process, but it shall be well. The main target is to succeed, and then make sure we make the vulnerable players here in Ghana, this in professional players." And he said he will help me. So that was when he said, "Okay, if it is possible for me to change the name from Lenient International Football Club to Beşiktaş." And I said, I can do it. It is costly, although, but that isn't a problem. The fact that I'm soliciting for support or sponsorship, I will do it. And then he should also, from his side, do the best he could to secure sponsorship for us so that we can market some of the players.
That's great.
You understand me? Yeah. So I explained to him just like I did to you, and that was early 2017.
Okay, so 2 years now.
That was 3 years.
Oh, right. Yes.
It was around April.
Sorry, I don't know why.
It was around April.
Yeah. Right.
So Mr. Under told me to try and change the name of my club from Wellinton International Football Club to Beşiktaş JK, and he will make efforts to get in touch with the board of Beşiktaş to give us a maximum support. Frankly, I changed the name of the club to Beşiktaş JK, and because of him, that is why you see the Berlin, because he based in Berlin.
That's great. That's a great story.
That is how come. You see, because I want him to feel like he brought something good to me, and then I also accepted in good faith.
That's really fantastic. And I mean, of course, I think it could be savvy. You know, Beşiktaş is it's a club that's like maybe small compared to like Barcelona or Real Madrid or Manchester United, right?
Correct.
But it's got a very large, very passionate fan base, and also a very, I think, historically, a very good, decent fan base. People who want to help and kind of think about the world in a different way and be sort of positive.
Yeah.
So I do think it's a good fit. And frankly, another thing that's very important too is that we need young players. You know, having academies around the world can help the club very much. So it's a great project, obviously, for you. I love the concept, but obviously also it could be very great for Beşiktaş. So I'm happy to help you as much as we can here to connect you to the club.
Yeah.
We'll keep trying for sure.
Yeah. So I want to complete this, and you know, it's kind of surprise. You know, so it's simple because Mr. Ondel based in Berlin, like I said. You know, that was where I decided to make a contact for the Beşiktaş dominant black jersey. You understand me? And then the jersey was sold to me by Mr. Semik. Once Mr. Semik in Istanbul, and they ship it through Aramex, and then it arrived in Accra for delivery. So when I delivered it, I started using the jerseys. Many of my environs, many of my friends will come to me and say, why are you using Beşiktaş? What are you making from Beşiktaş? Are they sponsoring you? I said, no. Football is a calling.
Yeah.
Football is a calling. The right time for you reaches, and nothing will stop you from making your contact. But I'm currently making a serious effort to get in touch with Beşiktaş this authority. So if you see me using Beşiktaş JC, you shouldn't be worried. That's what I keep telling my colleagues. So we started using that JC, that as you see, we started using it since 2017 till date. And the juvenile has no Beşiktaş official JC because it isn't common here in Ghana. You understand me? It isn't common here in Ghana. So I think in a nutshell, that is what I can tell you about the establishment of the team. And then, God willing, this 3rd November, as I celebrate my birthday, alongside the 11th year of the academy since it established. This is 3rd November 2017.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
No, and I think it's also for Beşiktaş fans, it's really a good. I think it makes us feel good that you're basically like spreading the knowledge of Beşiktaş. You know, you're putting these kids in kits, but of course they're wearing them around in Accra. They're making people in Ghana learn about the club and know about it. You know, and just to kind of identify. Oh yeah, Beşiktaş. I know about them. I've seen people wearing that shirt before. I've heard of that club. You know, so no, that's. There's so many, I think, like nice stories in here for Beşiktaş fans to get excited about.
Yeah, and then I can assure you, and it will even Beşiktaş will even go beyond Ghana in Africa, because we have neighboring countries. People come from our neighboring countries down to Ghana here, and then Accra. Definitely, we will go for players from other countries because there are talented players in Cameroon, in Nigeria, in Niger, wherever. We will go and scout good quality players, and we make sure we put Beşiktaş this in flags and paraphernalia over there. So it will go beyond Ghana. That's why we are praying that the authority will give us a positive response so that we see how best we can move this in the name of the club.
These are the kinds of moves that Beşiktaş needs to make right now. You know, they're having some trouble financially, but in the same way that with the way they're looking for players who have maybe a low profile, but high potential reward, right? Like they could develop. It's the same concept with academies, I think. You know, it's really from the perspective of a football club. It's a pretty small investment with a huge payout because, and again, it is long term. But I think for a football club, you have to make moves like that. You know, you need to have those connections. So I really hope we succeed in connecting you, Mohammed. Now you've already answered a lot of my questions. Let's find a good one for you. So you already mentioned your favorite players, Amokachi, Guti. So you have some success already, right? You've developed some players and you've sent them to clubs in Europe. Tell us a little bit about that. And one of your players was kind of stolen by another academy. Is that right? Like,
correct. You know, first of all, I will talk about one of my goalkeeper, very good, talented goalkeeper by name Nasir Abdul Karim.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at the age of 16 years, that was 3 years ago, we were playing a game with Accra Asofo Academy at our home ground, and then a white man visited the match. We don't know about the white man. He was also coming from a different place. I think he came purposely to scout players. He was standing at the corner, so when he saw the performance of the boy, he then approached me that, "Oh, my brother, I like this your goalkeeper. I want to help him. How old is he?" And I mentioned the age of the boy.
Yeah. And
then he asked me, "Oh, so how can we help him?" I said, "But I don't have problem you helping the players because that's my mission.
Sure.
But I think the age is under 18. How can you go about it? How will you go about it?" Not knowing, he has a group of coaches that he works with, financial group. I think it's Ghana group or what is it? I'll get the name of the Doga Finance. What is in? I don't know whether it is in Istanbul or what. So they have a team that maybe if they get good talented players, regardless the age, if the player is under 18, then they would move. They will work for for visa, Turkish visa for the player. They send him to Turkey to go and learn Turkey for 2 years till he gain 18 years. So when the player gets 18 years, now they can now transfer him to a different club. Frankly, my aim, since the name changed from Linear to Beşiktaş, is to make sure I produce good quality players for Beşiktaş as my mother club. Yeah, but because I made all necessary efforts to contact Beşiktaş, then I couldn't reach anyone. I once passed through Vodafone Park. I paid a visit over there, but then I don't know anyone over there, and no one knows about Beşiktaş too. So I don't know how to approach anyone. I even sat there on the bench to take a photo before coming back to Ghana. Yeah. So when this white man came and approached me, he said, "Oh, you're a player. I need the goalkeeper, but I want to give you 4,000 Ghana cedi." I said, "Wow, 4,000 Ghana cedi." But you know, football too, whenever you are running a football academy, you use money. Financial wise, we were down. So if we were down and then someone approaches showed interested in our player and is offering us 4,000, then we have to go for it, and then the player can also go and pursue his future career. So we accepted, and then the player left. As I'm speaking with you now, the boy has turned 18, and then Galatasaray are in serious contest to register the boy from the white men.
No.
It was only because of this COVID-19.
Yeah, of course.
Because of the COVID-19 outbreak, they should have signed the boy by now. I think I sent the photos of the boy to you the other day, or if not, I will even send it so that you see the way he was training with the white men over there.
Yeah, I forgot the name of the club, but they were a 3-league club.
Modafin. Yeah. They sent him to Modafin. That is where he school and play at the same time till he turned 18 years. Now that they want to send him to any club. I heard Beşiktaş were also interested, but till now I've not heard
It'll
anything.
It'll be interesting. We'll monitor it. But no, and there was another player who actually plays. Was it for Ajax?
Yeah, that was Kudus Mohammed. Kudus Mohammed was our player from juvenile level, under 15, under 17.
And then he went somewhere else before going to Netherlands.
The same problem, the same issue also happened when there is another academy who are very rich. You know, the Nordjylland people, the Nordjylland team. They have an academy here by name Right to Dream.
Yeah.
So you know, sometimes when those academy come like that, and then they are interested in your player, if you refuse to give them those players, they will report they will report you to their family.
And they'll get into the player's head, and they'll never. Yeah,
correct.
I understand for sure. Yeah. No, and that's why I don't think we can't judge you for not getting your guys to Beşiktaş yet, because for right now it's Beşiktaş's fault. Like we've got to get Beşiktaş to pay attention to you. But so hopefully we can. Yeah.
So there is a strategy that I even want after the confirmation from the authorities. There is a strategy that I also learned from some of the foreign clubs and then the local academies. Because I know they can send some of our players to join the academy, to school and do everything. But even if the player is not to play for Beşiktaş, Beşiktaş can sign the player and then give the player on loan. Like Chelsea did to Baba Rahman, like Chelsea did to Christian Achu. Yes, so like something like that. I want to put it before you so that you can also look at this in the conscience that I'm bringing on table. You see, so there are a lot of them, and then as I'm speaking with you, the same COVID-19. I sent to the platform the other day that we have a striker, our top striker, Umar Abdul Karim. He's in France. He went for a trials. He went to help some club because the club were going to relegation. So they sent invitation and I took the visa for him. He's there. He went there and then the COVID-19 outbreak also arose. Yeah. So he couldn't train with them.
That's terrible.
Yeah. So he couldn't train with them for long because they are indoor. I don't know if recently they start training because it's been a while I communicated with him.
I think maybe I see some clubs that are playing in like European competitions have started doing friendly matches, but I don't know. Like they canceled the league in France for the season, so like that's complicated. That sucks. That's too bad for you.
So that's the only players I can mention in a nutshell. But many scouts came to Ghana here, which they organized tournament. Our academy participated. They showed interest in the players. When they go and then you start contacting them again, then it becomes a problem.
No, I mean that's a pretty good track record. Yeah, I mean you got a guy to Ajax. I mean maybe he got stolen first, and then you're getting another guy into the Super League. I mean that's a good track record.
That we are still alive, and then things are moving. Yeah.
Just keep working, and like I said, we've got to help you build your profile. Like no matter what, Beşiktaş fans have to support a club named Beşiktaş. So at the very least, we have to have a new favorite club in Ghana, right? That's
Thank you.
Sure. But we've got to get you a connection. It just seems too easy, honestly. Let's see, what else do we have? One more question?
Yeah.
We covered that actually. So last question, and this is actually perhaps the most important question.
Yeah.
So we're raising funds. And I wrote a kind of list of those things that we need, but it's probably worth hearing from you directly, right? Like, what can that money get you guys? Like, how can we help you with this money. And so what are they going to be helping you with as they give you these funds?
Yeah, thank you so much. As I mentioned earlier on, we really need Beşiktaş JK official uniforms for both senior and junior teams. One, to attract and win the hearts of the good quality players who are not already our players. Because each and every good player wants to play a good team. The same way each and every team also want to work with a good player. Yeah. You understand me? So if we have our Beşiktaş uniform looking very attractive on the field, each and every player will be willing to join. Even this afternoon when I went to training, I learned some of the community players visited our website and they realized how official our website is. I went there and then they approached me that they want to join the academy. Very good quality players. So I think that is how we move, and then surely we can get there.
Yeah.
I can assure you that as we are waiting for the decision, we just keep finger crossed. We're expecting the feedback from the authority, which we pray that it should be a positive one.
From Beşiktaş, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. From Beşiktaş. Yeah, we can secure. With the Division 2, we have 2 steps to play in the Premier League, which is possible. Mm-hmm. With the support from our mother club in Turkey, we can secure promotion from Division 2 to Division 1.
So is that the top division in Ghana, or is there like a Premier division?
Yeah, we have a Premier. After Division 1, you then get promotion to Ghana Premier League.
Great, but still, that's huge progress.
That is
fantastic.
Correct. That is the National League. And I want Beşiktaş to participate in the National League, which is possible.
Yeah. No, that's great. The more the better. Yeah. No, I love the success domestically and creating this academy, right? It's all positive news. I like the project, and it's all bringing a name and recognition and reputation to Beşiktaş. So it's we have to support it.
Correct.
Listeners, listen here. You must support this man. We're doing our best. I really hope that we can get you some money short term and some recognition long term and get you connected to the club. There is some good news. I forget the guy's full name.
Selihan. Selihan, yeah.
Selihan. But there is somebody with the club you've managed to get a hold of, like through us communicating with various people in the background, and so we've got you a sort of hopefully at least a communication with the club, and they're gonna sort of get back to you in August, they said. So we're all praying, we're all praying, crossing our fingers, everything we can that works out. But no matter what, we're gonna keep trying to raise funds for you so that you can get those kits now, as soon as possible.
Correct.
And as much as we can get, if we raise even more funds, we can get you some equipment for recording footage, for scouting, and all of that. So the more the merrier. Please help, listeners. This is evidence now that we're doing good work, helping. We're helping you help kids in Accra, right? Like find a professional career for themselves. So
correct.
People like to talk about hashtag Black Lives Matter, right? Let's show people who matters, right? This is a great opportunity.
I'm cut a moment. The last time, about a week ago, I was there when a message came once again from Mr. Nesmetin. He was telling me, Mohammed, we are currently on break on all academy activities due to the COVID-19, and we will resume on the 10th of August. So they said, inshallah, from 10th of August, I will hear from them.
Wow.
So that was the recent message I had from Mr. Nesmetin.
It sounds positive. Yeah. Because it's almost affirmative, like something's going to happen on August 10th. Oh, that would be fantastic. We're really hoping things work out for you, Mohammed. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast and giving us your time.
Thank you too.
It was really a pleasure to have you on. You're definitely a friend of the podcast, a friend of Beşiktaş.
we place this in third on the league table as part of our excitement here in Ghana. I also said on the day of the interview I have to sing the song that I know for Beşiktaş. So maybe if you are ready, I start it.
I think so. I think I'm ready for it. Let's hear it, Mohammed.
So that's the song. Kujuna yes, Kotumaya Gelde, Formandata, all Maya Gelde, Beşiktaş Milan, all Maya Gelde, Beşiktaş. Kujuna yes, Kotumaya Gelde, Formandata, all Maya Gelde, Beşiktaş Milan, all Maya Gelde. Beşiktaş.
That's fantastic.
Her zaman her yerde en büyük Kartal. Her zaman her yerde en büyük Kartal.
I love it.
Her zaman her yerde en büyük Kartal. So as time goes on, we learn more of the song.
I love it,
from
man.
Turkey.
You're beating me right now. Honestly, my Turkish is terrible,
Yeah.
but I love it. I feel like I think our fans will love that. Thank you so much, Mohammed.
Welcome.
All right.
It's also good having you.
And someday I'll come to Accra for sure. You gotta host me.
No problem. No problem.
Oh man. Thanks for doing this, man. That was awesome.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Mohammed, for taking the time to do that interview, and it was really fun talking with you. I'm sure we'll hear from you again someday. But yeah, so for our listeners, now you know who this guy is, what we're asking for that money for. It's a great thing to do. You know, you can feel good about yourself helping kids in Africa and all that. But even beyond that, you know, it's interesting to discover that Mohammed has a Division 2 side in Ghana. They've been promoted from Division 3 since they joined there. And so that there's something really legitimate there that could really theoretically feed into Beşiktaş someday. Obviously, Africa at large as a continent needs to be sort of tapped into for scouting. But Ghana, even in particular, I think is something of a powerhouse in Africa. Any thoughts, Evran, on that?
Yeah, there's definitely. I think that's something I mentioned, maybe not on air, but I mentioned too that I think Beşiktaş underutilizes the potential of getting players. You know, if I've seen Red Bull Leipzig and the Red Bull Group in general has agreements in Mali, and Nordsjælland in Denmark has an agreement with the Club of Dreams, I think, in Ghana, and they're profiting immensely from that. You know, bringing 18-year-olds straight out. Beşiktaş doesn't really do that. You know, we tend to buy players when they're 24, 25, 30. So I think a type of scouting like that, an agreement with a youth club, could potentially be very profitable. I know Ajax also does.
I was going to say, he
Town.
Mentioned it, and I think it was what is it, Dreams?
Yeah, the cat. Yeah, I'm not sure the exact name, but there's definitely a lot of talent in that academy in Nordsjælland. I think they just sold a player to Ajax for like 15 million. They sold other players, so that type of money coming into Beşiktaş, especially because we're broke boys.
Yeah. Well, he had said that they had a good keeper. That
I think it's Right to Dream. I believe
right, something like that. Yeah, but he said that name sort of rung a bell with me because he said they they poached one of his players. As a 16-year-old,
like
he's the guy that just Ajax bought for like some fairly large sum.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, I would imagine, a problem, you know, for size like that, a club that size. But obviously, if Beşiktaş got involved, there would be a buffer there.
Yeah, clearly, I can't speak for that specific academy, but I've seen, believe it or not, I have seen games in the lower league of Ghana, the 3rd and 4th divisions. I knew someone there, and the talent level is very high.
There you go.
So even if it's 2nd division, whatever it is, I can assure you the competition will be very high. And I think it's something potentially, if done properly, could actually be extremely profitable.
Yeah.
For the club.
So yeah, guys, donate. Obviously, we're trying to get these guys kits. We're trying to get them looking good, and obviously, like the side quest in all of this is that we're getting a bunch of people to wear Beşiktaş kits around. So, you know, we're spreading the reputation of the club a little bit in the process. But obviously, like the better these kids and more organized these kids look out there, the better it makes everyone look, I think. And obviously, if something formal happens, he mentions this, but he's made some formal ties now to the club, so something could really be happening here, and we're obviously hoping for it. And it could be a serious boon to the club. Obviously, you'd like to see Beşiktaş doing this type of thing all over, even the world, theoretically, right? In Asia and I don't know, maybe Australia and New Zealand aren't prime for that.
Yeah, I think
but
in general, there's just like the under scattered areas. Like, so I don't think maybe like Germany would be right. Just not that it's talent
exactly
there, but all the players are being snapped up in less developed football nations, like even like the U.S., for example.
Yeah,
something like that could work just because there's a lot of talent that doesn't really make it through.
You could say like the Americas at large, right? And like you could, it would be novel to sort of focus on North America more, like not just the U.S. and Mexico, but like Costa Rica, Honduras, those types of places. Like, yeah, one could really have fun kind of imagining this type, Southeast Asia. Like, there's so many potential areas where you could mine real sort of diamonds in the rough, but it requires some sort of effort, And so anyway, it's fun to imagine that we're maybe helping the club find something like this if they're not going to do it on their own. And I obviously don't know if they're going to actually come through on this thing, but it would be awesome, obviously. And I really do think it would be valuable, even as just like a first-time project, just to gain that experience as a club. Any final thoughts on Mohammed Aminu, Evran?
I mean, I just hope, even if this specific avenue isn't 100% successful, the club looks into agreements like this. Hopefully, obviously, this one in specific works out. Yeah, Beşiktaş and Ghana would be cool, but just in general, I think the club needs to, do some things especially in Turkey, the other clubs aren't willing to do. The playbook has been written by other teams in other countries. You have seen what's successful with Ajax, with Nordsjælland, smaller teams or the Red Bull group able to find talent seemingly out of nowhere and profit. So I think we got to take their playbook and really run with it.
And I think it's there's a kind of like dirty shame in the fact that like the French league is such a sort of pool for African talent, just given how historically sort of evil they were towards Africa as a continent through colonialism and slavery and the slave trade and all that. So like, yeah, I don't know why. I truly doubt that there's any sort of loyalty among the African footballers or club and coaches that are sending their players to France. It's obviously just an effort being made on the part of French clubs. There's some sort of historical Oh
yeah, a lot of the players are also French-born, and if they're not French-born, they speak French as their native language and their country due to colonialism. So that type of transition makes it easier. Obviously, there's no one speaking Turkish.
But I mean, I think increasingly the opportunity to enter, rather than a Division 2 or 3 French side, you could probably come play, in the Super League nowadays anyway. So I don't know. I would imagine as the game kind of globalizes in that sense, it's less of an impediment now, because I'm like half of the teams have 3 or 4 guys speaking French probably.
It's definitely possible, but the club has to make an effort.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, but so it would be great. Anyway, we're gonna have more information as far as like how to donate. The link is in the description of our podcast and all over our Twitter account. We'll put some more up going forward now that we have this interview out, so we can sort of direct people to the interview, so you have something you can actually listen to, so you can believe that this isn't some sort of scam or something. But yeah, next up, so like the obvious news regarding this is that we had the big raffle for the Mohammed Elneny matchworn kit, the lilac one. And it was a pretty decent success. We had a lot of bids in, and we announced our winner. And so with me to announce it was Kartal Oğur, who again is from Glasgow. It was a fun chat I had with Kartal, and we announced the winner. And so, yeah, I'll put it out on here so you guys can listen to that. If you've already heard it on Instagram, feel free to fast forward a few minutes. But yeah, we talk a little bit, not just about the winner of the raffle, but also, just thoughts on the season and the upcoming transfer window and all that. But so, without further ado, Kartal Oğur. So, Black Eagles podcast listeners, Beşiktaş international followers, we have a very exciting event here, an announcement of sorts. We're going to announce the winner of the much anticipated, very exciting raffle for the Mohammed Aminu matchworn kit. And with me today to present it is a friend of the podcast and friend of Beşiktaş International, of course, Kartal Oğur. Kartal, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Just excited to give this away to the lucky winner. It's a beautiful shirt we have here.
Indeed. Look at that. Look at that thing. But so, yeah, today, some lucky winner here is gonna take this thing home. But before we do all that, let's talk a little Beşiktaş, just for some giggles, I guess. How you feeling, Kartal? How do you feel about the third place, the triumphant return, like from the virus break and everything? Do you feel like we actually kind of pulled things together and had a decent season after all?
I think when you consider where we were, I think the third place is a huge achievement. It feels like winning the league in a sense. We were so bad in the first half of the season. It seemed like an absolutely hopeless season under Abdullah, but Sergei came in and he steadied the ship. He maybe had a couple of games where his selection wasn't too great, but definitely got us playing better football and for the most part got us better results, and we got a nice ending, a third place in a Champions League spot. So from where we were, I don't think we could ask for much better for us,
Yeah, no, I mean, it seemed, I don't know if you heard the last episode, but I said it would be like a dream for us to get third place right before the restart. And I think Evran even laughed at the idea at the time. So that's all on record. But so yeah, it happened. So we actually, kind of dreams came true. Obviously not the big dream, I guess the good news is Champions League may come with it, even though it's just third place. Unfortunately, I hate to say thanks to Trabzon, but thanks to their problems financially, honestly, right?
Yeah, man, you need to play by the rules. You've seen, man, they have been doing some dodgy stuff financially. Like apparently they signed him on minimum wage, which that's not unbelievable for a football player to be signing a contract with minimum wage. And also they had that €50 million handout from the Minister of the Economy. It was a big time Trabzon fan, but that's the kind of stuff you see in Turkey all the time, anyway.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. I think we get numb to looking past all these financial transgressions, right? Because there seem to be so many every year, but really, the rules are the rules, right? And so we just got to make sure we don't break the rules going forward, and we get to keep playing in Europe, I think. But anyway, let's get to business. So over here, first of all, the hat that I'll be drawing from is a Beşiktaş, just to make, just so everyone is comfortable with where it's coming from. I've got a ton of these little pieces of paper. I've got every $5 bid is over here. I almost dropped one. We're good. Everyone's accounted for. On each one of these, we have a name. Anyway, each one of these has a $5 bid. I'm going to put them all in the hat. Each bid here. We got a lot. This is a healthy collection of $5 bids. So thank you all to the listeners who contributed, and even, I suppose, those who maybe don't listen and contributed. But yeah, let's see who wins this thing. I'm not looking, right? It's on camera. I'm not looking at the thing. I'm looking here at you guys. We got someone. This is actually, so again, right, pulled it out blind. And it's Burak Güler. Burak. So congratulations to Burak. You are going to receive the Mohammed Elneny kit. So we'll reach out to you. There it is. You can see Kartal carrying it. Congratulations, sir. Kartal, you have any words for our winner? How's the kit feel in your hands?
It feels just like the ones we've got on Sinan, to be honest. It's the exact same material, the ones they sell are, but it is really nice to have having these Europa League patches. I think it's a nice wee touch there. And obviously Mohammed Elneny is actually looking like he's going to be staying with us next season. I've read
I saw those rumors, yeah.
Yeah. It's a nice bit, man. For sure.
Yeah. Well, so Mr. Güler, stay tuned. We're going to reach out and get your address and stuff to send it to you. Kartal, thanks very much for being my modeler there. That was good work on your part.
A pleasure, man. Always a pleasure.
We'll have to have you on the podcast again soon, for sure.
I'm looking forward to that day, man.
Any parting words for our fans, for the Beşiktaş fandom at large? Final thoughts on before we go into the summer and start getting transfers in and all that?
I'm just hoping that we have a nice summer, man. We felt the spots where we need some signings. It's going to be a very different squad next season, so I'm very excited to see that. Hopefully it turns out well.
Yeah, for sure. In your opinion, last question, what's our biggest need, do you think?
Biggest need? That's a hard one.
We have a lot of needs, right?
It's easy now. I've thought about it. Burak's away, so we need a striker. Given Yeltsin and Omutayr, I don't think they're enough, so we definitely need a striker that's at least going to contribute 20 goals a season. That's our biggest need just now.
Fully agreed, yeah. Clearly, I think a striker is going to be the biggest need. Güven Yeltsin and Umut Nair, I don't think they're gonna solve our problems for an entire season. You know, we've gotten a bang out of our buck for Umut Nair thus far. I think, you know, he's contributed in a few games, but I don't see that as a long-term solution, right?
Definitely, he's a great third choice. He can come on off the bench and score you a goal. I think, as you're saying, value for money. Thinking about it, I actually remember reading something that see the money he earned the club by scoring that goal against Galatasaray is more money than we paid him so far in the 2 years he's been on our books.
There you go. Perfect example. Yeah, exactly. Well, so yeah, I'm in agreement with you. We'll see how Evran feels about it in the next episode. But thanks again, Kartal. It was great chatting with you. And congratulations, Mr. Güler, for your big win today. Peace out, everyone. Congratulations to Burak Güler. The big win for you. I'm sure you're super excited. As far as I know, the shirt's already been sent out, and we've already been in touch with you. So, yes, be sure to send in a picture with you wearing the kit. And yeah, don't hesitate to bid again for round 2. And so, Evran, why don't you be the announcer? So, in honor of this man, so tell us why today is something of a special day for not just the kit that we're announcing, but the person who's on the kit.
Yeah, well, I guess this was yesterday.
Yeah, but, thanks, Evran.
When this will be released. It was Atiba Hutchinson's 7th year anniversary at the club. He joined in 2013, the summer. Which was, I think, July 30th or July 31st.
Very under the radar signing at the time.
Yeah, it was a free agent. Didn't have a lot of hype at all because he was playing right back, I believe, the previous season for PSV.
And we'd gotten so many guys, right? Like that was a season where we brought in a number of big headliners. So yeah,
I think that was the same summer. Like that was like right when we kind of like got away from the first season of Feda. We started bringing in like decent players like at Kantere and stuff.
Yeah.
So it wasn't no more Cesar Öztürk and Michael Enarama.
Remember, and like, wasn't that like where Kedim Fry, like those?
Yeah.
They kept coming. It was like, whoa, another guy, whoa, you know. Of course, now we're paying for that. Long term, it's not so fun in retrospect. But
Yeah, so that was like kind of under the radar free agent. I think he was already 30, so people weren't too excited. And then all of a sudden, turns out he wasn't a right back. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Played him in his correct position, and it turns out he was the best in the league, if not one of the best in the league at that time. Yeah.
And speaking of best in the league, he was named to to many people's sort of top 11 for the Super League this year's squad. So he had another remarkable year.
Yeah, his most goal contributions ever. At the age of 37.
But so yeah, this kid is not as contemporary as the Elneny one was. It's not from this season. It's from the 2018-19 season. One of my favorite kits, actually. It's got the black and gray stripes, the sort of thick stripes. This match was worn right around when Burak first arrived. Wait, Burak?
Yeah, that half season.
Yeah?
When Burak came. Yeah.
Okay.
His first 6 months, that's when it was.
But so yeah, we have info on the shirt and everything, obviously. But so anyway, great kit. Obviously, like I said, you're supporting a great cause, as you've already heard from previously in the episode. And yeah, you can win a great sort of memento for a player that means a lot to all of us, I believe. But so yeah, as always, hit up the link that we're going to put in the description of this episode, or check out our Twitter for more info. I don't think that... I hate Instagram. You can't put links to things, It's so inconvenient.
You can put it in your bio.
I know, but then we don't have our podcast in the bio. Anyway, whatever. Maybe we should at least temporarily cede that to the cause. But yeah, please do donate. Again, great cause, and you could win something. Before we log out, though, let's have a little bit of fun with the actual type of stuff our listeners tend to come here for. And of course, this time around, there's quite a bit to talk about as far as transfers, not just rumors, but real official stuff. Evran, I hand it to you. I've been interviewing all these guys. They've heard my voice a lot. So you tell us what's going on in the news cycle.
Yeah. So there's nothing there's not been any like stock announcements to the market, but there's the only like official thing with Burak is gone. They unveiled him today, but there's a lot of news that is extremely reliable that we can report that's very close to being done. Fabrice Nsakala, who I think we've mentioned many times, is a done deal. 2-year deal plus one. They were saying 800,000 salary, but looks like Orta's saying 850,000 salary, which is quite high, I would say.
But also not bad, considering how much we've overpaid for.
Supposing if he's a starter.
Yeah, especially if he's a starter.
Over Evran. And then another almost done deal that I am not quite happy about. Wellinton from Alanya. Although I think he's pretty good, 31-year-old Brazilian. Unfortunately, he saw the contract, so we had to pay a transfer fee. So instead of a transfer fee, we gave them Fatih Aksoy.
Yeah.
That's just about done. I don't think the final signatures, everything's been done, but it's been agreed upon. The salary is 900,000 euros for Wellinton, which is a lot. And then an additional 1,500 euros per point as a bonus. And it's a 3-year deal for a 31-year-old center back.
That's such a fascinating structure for points. Yeah. Okay.
So per win, it would be 4,500 if you're not good at math.
No, but that's good. That's really good to know. I mean, I like how they're incentivizing winning.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting transfer. A 22-year-old Fatih Aksoy, who's homegrown, Turkish, which helps for the league. Obviously, wouldn't be a foreigner, and also in Europe, you need a certain amount of homegrown players to be playing. So we've given one away. That kind of hurts. But hopefully, Wellinton comes in and makes an instant impact. So it's an interesting one. 2 Alanya players.
Leaves us thin at the 6 too, doesn't it? No,
A little bit, yeah. This is more.
Atiba, by the way, speaking of Atiba, he sort of committed to coming back. It sounded like he said his heart said he'd be back next season, which is pretty promising, for a sport where guys usually don't want to tip their card much. But beyond Atiba, we've got Dorkan, right? But we've all sort of agreed not much of you can't really rely on him defensively, so he's really someone you'd have to slot in next to the number 6 as the 8. So
more news, I guess. Elneny.
Yeah, let's go with it.
That's an Orta. Ozil. I don't think anyone's really shocked, but the loan will not be extended. He's been.
We know why. Was it he didn't want to pay?
Yeah, he's not been getting paid on time, and I don't think he wants to be here. And I'm not sure if the club is happy with him either. In my opinion, he's just wildly overpaid for what we can afford. One of the highest paid members in the squad. I feel like he's got to be, the best player on the team. Kind of like Vida. Even though he's overpaid, at least sometimes he puts out those performances. Really, wow, he's clearly better than everyone else. But with Elneny, I don't think you could say he was worth 5 times Atiba or 4 times Atiba. So.
No, it's interesting. We have these sort of very short-term, sort of quasi-Premier League busts like Kagawa, Elneny, right? They don't seem to stick around somehow, but it might have a lot to do with us not being able to pay them ever what they were supposed to. But yeah, and I think some would argue that he was good for us this year. I personally wouldn't. I don't, especially given what we would have had to pay for him and everything. I know we were trying to finagle some sort of discount on what we'd have to pay him and have his have Arsenal pay for some of it or something. But I think it's probably for the better that we stop playing these sort of games and just focus on the guys that we have, especially the younger guys, and developing them and making sure they're getting
losing
time.
Fatih Aksoy, his salary was very low.
I don't really get that. I don't get that.
So that one hurts.
Let me correct that. I get it insofar as supposedly this is a guy on Sergen's list, right? And so if it's that important to him and you don't really have money to spend, that's your that's your currency, I guess.
His soon-to-be former coach Erol Bulut said that on TV or on the radio. He said that Wellinton's a top 3 center back in the league.
Interesting.
In his opinion. I don't know. It's a short-term potentially move, which I think is the hard part. I don't think anyone's really against Wellinton. It's just the Fatih part that hurts.
Yeah. I mean, hey, is Erol Bulut going to be Fener's coach? Is that
potentially? Yeah, we'll see. It'd
be funny to have a guy that Fener's coach praising our players that much. I like it. But so anyway, Wellinton official, sort of, Nsakala official, sort of, and both of them have there's pictures of our board meeting with them and them sort of apparently signing things. So those do look pretty good.
Yeah, they just haven't been officially unveiled yet.
And we haven't.
We're at the last step for that.
My rule is ever since Mehmet Topuz is to never, never say it until you see the picture with them, with the kit officially holding it up and the, team club president.
Not with the kit, but remember Topuz had the kit on.
Well, no, but I mean standing next to the club president, having signed, you know what I'm saying, with the document in front of them, signed. The ceremony. I need to see this. I need to see the document freshly signed. That's what I'm saying. But moving on. We've got some other stuff, some fun stuff, and some less fun stuff.
Yeah, I mean the rest of the rumors are all they're all reliable sources or Tachizki, but they're not concrete transfers that have happened.
No pictures.
I guess one update, just league-wide, is the relegation thing has been a fiasco, which kind of affects us. So the bottom 3 are no longer being relegated. So we're having 21, now maybe 22 teams, which is, we could go on forever. But what that affects us is Gökhan Tere, who's been linked to us. Now Malatya kind of has incentive to be able to keep him. And they're saying they expect, the president said he would only let Gökhan go for a fee, that he will not let him go for free. So I think like before they're saying, we can get him for free, which looks no longer to be the case. So that transfer may not be occurring. I mean, still could, but
yeah, we'll see. And the wings are a bit of a question mark. So obviously Diaby's out, but like I mean, it's not official, but it seems very likely. But with
Orta said it was done, so.
So with Nkudu and Boyd certainly locked in, and then Lenz in a sort of precarious situation where, like, I don't know if he'd want to leave because he's not going to get a payday like that if he does. We obviously need one, right? We're going to replace Diaby, that's for sure. So there's one guy. He could be a starter, right, or a backup, depending on how you view the situation. And ideally, you're letting go of Lenz and that giant salary, and so we need 2 guys. Yeah,
there's another winger who I think we can get an update on, Doğukan Inci, who we mentioned multiple times. The negotiations are still ongoing. I guess there's still a gap in the number between what Beşiktaş is willing to offer and apparently what his club is asking for. His contract was till 2023. For some reason I thought he was a free agent, but guess I made that up. So yeah, basically they want 2.7 million liras, which is like 380k, and we're only have offered 2 million liras so far, which is 700k lira difference in the fees right now. Karşıyaka did not get promoted; they lost in like the last game, so they're still a 4th division team. So I'm not sure if they can really stand to ask for that much, but so that's the update with Mr. Doğukan, who has shown he wants to join. So I think it's just an issue between the clubs.
Yeah, he's been all over the Instagram.
Yeah, and then there's. Should I leave the most exciting one for last?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, so the goalies. I think we've been mentioning Volkan Babacan for a while. That looks to be off the cards. It's been said he's not leaving, and I think there's also rumors he's injured. So we kind of still want to back up. And the list, according to Orta Çizgi, there's 3 names. Sinan Bolat, who I think we've mentioned since like March, still on the list. And then cheaper options, Serkan Kırıntılı and Fatih Öztürk, were in their 30s. So that's
and like that would be really sort of stressful news for me if Ersin didn't kind of calm me. He's the calming factor, right? We really do have the sense that this is a backup that's being brought in. So
yeah,
I mean, obviously you want to be able to rely on your backup, especially because Ersin, like, what if it's like a Guven Yalçın scenario, right, where he had that hot few games and then it turns out it's not really what you hoped for.
Yeah, ideally I think Sinan Bolat is still the one I would want, but I'm not sure if he would want to come in with the potential of him not starting. So
yeah, but certainly he would also put more pressure on Ersin for that role. And remember, I mean, Champions League too, so maybe you really want it to be more like that than the other way, right? Interesting. That'd be an interesting like debate. If we do have to fill up some space, we could have someone on to debate Sinan Bolat versus like a clear backup. I mean, unless they decide, and we might not have enough time actually. But so there is one more bit, and this is the really fun one, I think, for both of us anyway.
They have former Arsenal talent, highly touted, former England youth international, now committed to Nigeria, Mr. Chuba Akpom, who plays for PAOK in Greece. He's a striker. Beşiktaş has offered 2 million euros. That's confirmed. That's 2 sources say it's been 2 million. Orta Çizgi says that we just offered, and then Sky Sports says that it's been agreed. Interesting thing about this, other than the fact he's 24, striker for PAOK, is that we could be playing PAOK in the second qualifying round of the Champions League.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that changes the dynamic. It's 1 year left on his contract. If they say,
we don't really want
we
to
don't
give
want
one
to
of our better
sell
players
him,
to a guy. Yeah.
play against us. So I don't know how that will work, but I think it could be a very interesting transfer. I think, in my opinion, he could either be like the lone striker or kind of like that wide target man to combine off a striker that we've seen many clubs use, and Turkey has done with both Cenk and Burak. So,
yeah, I was gonna say he could be like Guven Yalçın, but actually good. And not just someone who we hope he tries hard today.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting turn of events. I think it's a lot of money for us to offer, but I think it will be worth it.
Do you think $2 million is too much?
No, I think it's fair for a player of his age. He doesn't really have too bad of an injury history.
How much do you get for Champions League money?
I think last time we got like 40 million, but that was because there was no other Turkish teams.
So it's sort of split between.
So it'll be a little bit less, but it'll definitely be. It's going to be at least double what you make in the Europa League. So yeah, it would definitely cover 2 million.
So yeah, that's interesting. That's it. That's the news.
Which would be paid in installments, by the way. Usually transfers are paid in installments. So when you hear 2 million, we can't afford that.
Yeah, exactly.
That is true, but usually you'd pay like, let's say, 4 installments. So it'd be like 500,000 across 2 years. And then PAOK would usually get 1.9 million, and they would sell the right to the money to someone else. That's usually how the transfers work in Europe. So.
And furthermore, 2 million is not an outrageous sum. Where I think we know we're going to sell at least someone for that much, right? And I don't think any of the guys that were sort of between Lens, Vida, and Ljajic kind of have to go theoretically. Even if we only sold one of them, we'd earn more than enough to sort of at least cover that expense for the FFP.
It'll be interesting to see if they're going to wait for Champions League. Because the transfer window will still be open if we lose that first game, but then we don't have the same leverage. So we'll see. Big 20 days coming up.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, even you could say big 10 days. Because ideally, ideally you want to have your team in there for the beginning of training camp, but that's literally like never happened. So maybe I'm exaggerating it a little bit. I'm trying to sell the episodes coming up, I guess. But yeah, I mean, on that note, this is a long one, I guess, because of all the actual news in addition to all of our fun fundraising stuff. But so, as always, stay tuned for more. There's going to be a lot incoming. Obviously, there's only one bit of news that sort of we're waiting on, which is that if Başakşehir wins the Europa League, but hear me out, wait for it. If they do, they get the automatic spot through the Champions League, which opens up another spot in Turkey for a European spot. So Fener would go to the Europa League finally, and we would then get the automatic Champions League spot. Be on the lookout.
The only thing I would say is that all the games for Başakşehir will be one-offs. Other than this, they have the 1-0 advantage in the first leg going to the second leg, but the rest of the games, quarterfinals through the final, are all one-game ties.
And so who are they going to be playing against?
Probably Manchester United next round. We'll see how that goes. Inform Manchester, but it's just a one-game. They could just park the bus and counter through Demba Ba. You never know. You really never know. So I would not bet any money on it.
Demba Ba has burned a few Premier League sides before.
Yeah, but if there was any scenario where Başakşehir wins the Europa League, I would say it's this scenario with no fans, one-off games.
Yeah, no, it works.
They're built for this. They're built for this. So
I mean, the one bad thing is obviously Man U is still playing, so they're going to be a little bit more fresh, you'd imagine, than Başakşehir, who might be a little lethargic, having been off, having had their celebration run and everything. So that's one little sort of asterisk that we're all sort of waiting. I obviously don't imagine them winning the Europa League, but it's not 100% impossible. So, for the sake of posterity, I'll mention it. Anyway, besides that, as always, follow us on Twitter. Follow us here at Eagles_podcast. Follow the mothership for all the latest news, and that's going to be important in the coming, as we said, 10, 20 days. So at Beşiktaş_INT. And we only post reliable news, so have no fear there. No fanatic or photomash. Follow this guy, the Akman, at fan of BJK. Follow myself at Sir_writes_a lot. Follow the Beşiktaş JK Berlin Academy of Accra at Beşiktaş Accra. No spaces, Accra, ACCRA. Or you can follow Mohammed himself at Accra JK, ACCRA JK. And so, yeah, as always, stay tuned. Be on the lookout for more episodes. Obviously, we'll be back next week, maybe sooner should something wild and crazy occur between now and then. But for the most part, you can probably expect another sort of next weekend or Monday episode. Until then, please do not forget or hesitate to say, whenever you get the chance, Go Beşiktaş! Happy time.
Ortada Bobo. Şimdi Bobo'nun önüne. Bobo aldı. Bobo girdi. Bobo çok babasın. Çok harikasın. Çok güzelsin. Harika.
Beşiktaş International hopes you enjoyed this program.